Hello to our listeners and viewers. Welcome to our Dream to Rise podcast. This is Cynthia Concordia, your host. I'm so grateful to have our guest speaker who is a visionary entrepreneur based in the United Kingdom and the founder of AmazingYou, a platform dedicated to holistic wellness and personal transformation. She holds a PhD in management and brings together a unique blend of expertise. As an international clinical hypnotherapist, certified Mars Venus life and relationship coach, and energy healer. She's passionate about empowering women. She supports individuals on their journey of healing, self-discovery, and alignment through a range of transformative modalities. Her podcast and YouTube channel, Amazing You, inspire and uplift audiences worldwide. She's also a co-author with John Gray in the Amazon #1 bestseller, Love and Coaching. She has also contributed to several collaborative books, including Bare, Naked, and Beautiful. I'm so glad you left me. Women of Purpose, Creating a Better World. Women of Purpose, Compassionate Hearts, and The Art of Connection, 365 Days of Abundance Codes, The Art of Connection, 365 Days of Resilience Codes, and Miracles Are Normal. Her writing reflects her deep commitment to personal growth, healing, and empowerment. She's an international inspirational speaker mentored by Les Brown, and she has been featured on platforms such as E360 TV. She has also been nominated among the top 100 entrepreneurs globally and featured in Global A Woman magazine last March 2024. And she's a passionate advocate for holistic health and well-being and continues to expand her impact through her partnership with LiveWave. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Rani Thanacoody. Dr. Rani, welcome to our Dream to Rise podcast, and I'm so grateful that you connected with me. I'm sure you'll be able to share so much value to our listeners.
Hi, Cynthia, and hi to your audience. I am really very excited to be on your podcast. I've been waiting for that since the day you invited me, and I am very, very grateful to be here to talk to your audience. That's
Oh,
such a beautiful name, Dream to Rise podcast, and I think you are doing a great, great job impacting the world. And thank you for this beautiful introduction that you
uh,
did for me. Thank you.
oh, thank you so much. I value really human connection. It's great to go out and reach out to people and see how we can collaborate, how we can support each other. And this is a form of collaboration wherein you'll be able to share your story and help my audience. Let's just support each other, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Supporting each other is so important because that's how we grow and evolve as well. We can't do anything alone. And as women, we need to support each other. That's when we feel more connected.
Yes, I agree. As what I've mentioned, it's about your journey that we would love to hear. So, can you share your journey into the world of holistic wellness and what inspired you to become a clinical hypnotherapist and energy healer?
Thank you. What a beautiful question. There's so much I could talk about that the whole day, but I'll try to make it brief and to the point. So that journey, it's a long story. It started when I was a child. I was 4 years old. And at 4 years old, as children, we love our grandparents. And I was very, very close to my grandmother. And she passed away when I was 4. For me, that was a really big loss because I was very close to her. She was my friend. She was my confidant. She was everything. She understood my pain. She understood my joy. She understood me, who I was. She saw me in the depth of who I was. And losing her, my life changed completely, I must say. And what happened is I started, because as a child, we don't know how to process our emotions. So the adult around me, They didn't know as well how to help a child to process emotions at 4 years old. They had their own pain of losing family, a deep family member, a very important family member. And they had other things. They had to make sure there's food on the table, So they did the best they could, and I'm very grateful for that. But as a child, my way of coping with the world was to suppress my emotions. So I started to numb myself at a very young age, not to feel the pain of losing my
At
grandmother.
age 4?
Yes, I didn't
Wow.
know how to express my emotions anymore. It was such a shock to my system to lose my grandmother because nobody was there to hear me, to see me.
One question, who were your parents? I mean, during that time. Who
Yeah,
are
they
you?
were there, but they were busy. They were busy with work. They were
Oh,
busy with raising my little sister, by making
oh,
sure we got everything. They think that children will forget about that. They
oh, okay.
don't believe that it will stay in the soul, in the blood of the kid. And that was a long time ago, a different generation.
Mm.
And so I started to numb myself. And soon after that, because I didn't express myself and I was so fearful, and when I went to kindergarten, soon after that, I was physically abused, sexually abused. And that made me even more withdraw because I was scared to tell my parents because I know if I tell them, they will scold me, and they did scold me.
This happened in school?
Yes, yes.
Classmate?
No, it was the lady who was the cleaning lady's son. So, because they were living in the same ground as the kindergarten.
Uh-huh.
So I took a few days. I think it took me a week to tell my parents because I was so scared of their reaction. And I was scolded when I said. So that made me even withdraw even more because I I was not understood. So I grew up like that, grow up going to school, not feeling much joy, not feeling pain, because that helped me to cope with life, to survive. So I started living in that survival mode. And as I grew up, I started working. That's when the issues become bigger because if you don't address those emotions, you suppress them as a child, they will show up in your life in different situations, in different relationships until we learn our lesson and we start to heal those issues and heal our wounds so that we become whole again. So the wound inside of me was just half covered. So it was still open. So anything would trigger it. So I was very reactive to life and I would get upset very easily, take everything personally. I was a big people pleaser because I wanted to be loved. And I lost the love of my grandmother. So as I started working, the workplace bullying started because these people didn't do it purposely. These people who bullied me, they could feel that this is a vulnerable person that they could, it's like energy. They don't know, but they feel it, that this is like a prey, this is an easy target. So I know they didn't do it purposely. They could feel that person is wounded.
It's how
And
we project also, no, to others.
absolutely, that's what happened. And it got worse and worse. Every year I was moving job, Cynthia. In
Mm.
the UK, I had a really good position as a lecturer, but every year I was changing job because I didn't know how to cope with people who were trying to bully me. And I had to move house as well because the jobs are quite far from each other. So I had to move job and relocate.
Mm.
And that was a lot of hassle. And then in 2017, that's when it became really bad. There were so many people involved in that bullying, and that forced me to leave the job. I resigned. I say, I'm not going to put up with that. I have to now find a way and understand what is causing this. My dad used to tell me, you are doing something that is causing that. He was right, but he couldn't explain deeply. But he was right in his own way. And that time I left the UK, went back to Mauritius. That's where I'm originally from, a small island between Australia and Africa, for those who don't know. And it was very hard to go back home because I left home since I was 23. And coming back home now, living with my parents was hard because I'm not used to living with parents again. And they have changed as well. Tried to look for a job, couldn't find a job. But then I've been always a firm believer in God. So I continued to pray. And this time I was asking God, help me to find a way. What do I do now? Do I go back? Here I can't find a job. And then that voice inside of me say, yes, apply for jobs, you will go out, you will leave, you will find a job. I applied, and within a year, I found a job, which I am still in. So it's 8 years, I'm still in the same job, which is the first time in my life I could stay in a job, Cynthia. And it was life-changing when I came back. I started teaching again, but then the pandemic hit, and I found the course that was the breakthrough for me. That was the hypnotherapy. And she was for me the greatest mentor and teacher. Her name is Marisa Peer. And so I decided to train all the levels with her. It's like to understand myself, to heal my wounds. And that helped me to understand so much of how much I wanted to be loved, how much I wanted to be approved for who I am. And because I always wanted, as children, we play different roles to be accepted.
Mhm.
And I was the sick child as a child to get attention. I was always sick. I had throat issues, all sort of sickness I had, just because it was for me a way to get attention that I didn't get. So going to the doctor, the doctor will touch you, the nurse, so you get attention. And the other role that I play is I also play the perfect child. So I try to achieve a lot to get the approval that I didn't get. And I try to get good grades, do a PhD, but still didn't get that approval at those times. So we all play those different roles. Some of us, we play the role of the rebel. We rebel so that we get seen and heard. Some of us play the role of the carer. We look after our mother, father, we care for everybody around us, but we forget ourselves. So I completely, as a child, disconnected from who I was. And I grew up like that, playing those different roles until I started doing the inner work with Marisa, with the hypnotherapy. And I started to understand that people pleasing was to get acceptance, to get loved. And I have got a lot of titles and positions. And now I look at it, I say, what was that for, Because I don't need all that. These are just titles and they go. When we die, what do we take with us? Nothing. I felt that even more when my dad died recently. And the priest was saying, when you die, your hands are empty, your hands are open, you go. When you come here, you grab here, grab there, house, car, jobs, everything. But when you leave, you have to go empty. So that was really an eye-opening for me, this hypnotherapy that helped me to heal my stomach issues. I used to be obsessed with dieting and exercising, Cynthia. I would exercise twice a day and I would diet all the time throughout my childhood until my adulthood, watch what I eat. Oh my God, it was like really on a strict diet. I was very slim when I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm not fat now, but I like that I'm not skinny. I don't want to be skinny.
Yes.
And I had so many other issues. I used to be obsessed with cleaning.
Oh.
I had to clean all the time. One time my sister came to visit me in Australia. I told her, it's Sunday, so now I am going to clean. You stand outside. And I was cleaning. It was a small flat of one room. And I had to clean. For me, cleaning was an obsession. But all this was inside of me, those kind of beliefs that I suppress inside. So all this was before doing the healing. But since I did the hypnotherapy, this obsession is gone. I don't need to clean. It's okay not to clean all the time. Nobody will come and see my place. So cleaning is important, but not being obsessed with it. So many of these issues I got rid of. And the transformation has been incredible. I started to, at the same time when I was with Marisa P, I trained with Les Brown as a speaker. So I wanted to develop my voice because as a child I had no voice. I was just seen but not heard. And I also started co-authoring in different books that you just mentioned. And then I realized I need to have a podcast to help people to share their stories so that they can learn, get inspired, and know that they are not alone in the suffering that they are experiencing. And I've spoken in many, many conferences, live, online. It's been an incredible journey of transformation. And when I started to heal myself, my sister started her journey of healing herself. So it's like it has a ripple effect, And the relationship I have now are more deeper connections, more people that are more like-minded. And now I can say I'm more connected to myself. I was completely in my head in the clouds growing up my whole life, but now I feel more grounded. I feel more in my feminine energy. I was in my masculine energy, Cynthia. I like to do things very quickly. I like the doing, the action, and I used to get bored. But now I enjoy the calmness. I enjoy sitting and doing nothing. I enjoy taking time, taking things more slowly and not stressing about life. So I used to be so anxious. Oh my God, I had so many issues,
Yeah.
Cynthia. But the transformation has been life-changing. So I've been going through different modalities, learning to heal myself, to understand my child, my inner child, and to give her the love, the care, and the attention. So that's why I train in all these modalities.
So when you mentioned about hypnotherapy,
Yes.
what is the role of hypnotherapy in personal development? How does it help individuals overcome challenges?
Thank you. That's a great question. I love hypnotherapy because it is a technique that go to the root cause of the issue. Let's say you come with an issue that you eat all the time, but you don't know why you eat all the time. You have done so many diet, exercise, it does not work. And that's what hypnotherapy will help you. It will help you to access the part of your subconscious mind that have stored all these memories, all these beliefs, all these stories that you've been told or that you've been telling yourself. And in the session, I help the client go through different scenes where the client start to understand those different scenes, how the issue is connected to those scenes. So the client will do the work. I will guide the client to understand the issue of why they eat constantly. They will see that because in your conscious state, you won't remember anything of your childhood, of even your past life. But when you are in hypnotherapy, you are in a deep state of relaxation. You are not asleep. It's just the nervous system that is asleep. It's like you are not going to move, but you are just going to be relaxed and you are going to talk all throughout the session. So you are not sleeping.
Okay.
And that is so powerful because it's hypnotherapy, hypnosis. It's very similar to meditation, but hypnosis is more of a scientific term, but meditation is more of a spiritual term. But it's the same level of awareness that you are in that relaxed state, deeply relaxed state.
And
So it's
doing
the same.
some kind of self-reflection and so on. But
Yes.
there's one guiding you, asking
Yes.
questions.
The therapist will guide you to probe you to trigger those emotions that are stuck in your memory, that are stuck in your body as well, because we store all these emotions in our body, and that's when they start to create all sorts of issues later. And there is a very beautiful quote in London that Marissa used to say is, the feelings that cannot be expressed may cause the internal organs to weep.
Can you repeat that again, please?
Yes,
It's
the
nice.
feelings that cannot be expressed may cause the internal organs to
Yes,
weep. Yeah,
I agree. So
because we
isn't it?
suppress. Yeah.
Yes, just like before we started, I mentioned to you about eating. So in our culture, since childhood, we have six meals a day in the Philippines: breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and sometimes midnight snack. So we are exposed to food. That's why it's endless cooking, endless preparation. And whenever we celebrate something, it's always through food. When we gather, there's always food. Is there a way to solve that problem? Because I was raised like that. Is it that's the reason why I keep eating? Is it because of how I was raised on the culture we had?
It can be part of the culture, but it doesn't mean that it's only the culture. It could be other issues behind it. Maybe other beliefs that you believe as a child that you related to food, that you connected to food, maybe to love. I don't know, maybe your subconscious would tell you in the session. There is a connection that you made as a child about food and how it made you feel. So there is something that is deep inside there that needs to be looked into, that needs to be explored, that needs to be investigated and understand. Because when you get that understanding, that's why we say in hypnotherapy, understanding is power. When you get the understanding, then you can easily release that belief or that memory. It could be a memory that you had in your subconscious mind that eating was something that makes you feel good. It's about the emotions, because I've seen a lot of clients who come very, very overweight. It's not about the overweight. It's about the weight is the emotions that are trapped inside. So in order to protect themselves, they eat. And that's why they put on weight, because the weight is to protect them from some kind of danger. Some people, when they have been sexually abused, they put on a lot of weight. Or when they are abused emotionally as well. I have seen that in my surroundings. They put on a lot of weight because that's their way of coping, And they don't eat a lot, but they put on weight. So we associate so much weight with diet and exercise, but it's much more than that. It's about those beliefs in the subconscious that we believe as children that we thought were helping us at that time. It helped us to survive. But then later we realize, no, eating all the time is not helping me. It's making me now, it's hurting me because I am putting on weight.
But actually, it should be the opposite because my mom, it's endless cooking and preparation, and we don't have any rest. After cooking for a meal, coming from the market, cook for lunch, we're still eating lunch. She would stand up and prepare for the merienda because of the work involved. I'm not fond of really cooking and then forced us to eat because it will be a waste if we don't eat also. I don't know if it's also a factor of how you were raised by your parents.
But if you are forced to eat, then there is a belief behind that. If you are forced to eat, or if you are told not to leave food on your plate,
yes,
it's a kind of belief behind that as well. Yes. So now you eat because you don't want to leave food behind.
You don't want to waste food.
Absolutely. So it's a kind of subconscious, subtle belief that is there still playing, and once we release those beliefs, that's when we feel free. We don't need to be like our mom. We don't need to be what we used to be before. Then it's like the client get the understanding. And also the client get an audio. That's why this hypnotherapy method is called rapid transformational therapy. It's really rapid. And we use neuro-linguistic programming. Once we remove those beliefs in the session, it can be 1 or 2 sessions, depending on the issues. Some issues require longer. And once we remove the belief in the session, then we do neuro-linguistic programming. So now we have to put some positive words to change those negative bad behaviors, those emotions, to create new positive way of doing things. And then we give the client an audio of 10 minutes that they listen to help to bring in the positive change that they want in their life, the transformation they want. So that's the session. It's a long session. It's very deep. It's about 2.5 hours. It's so worth it.
That's great. So you also mentioned that you're a relationship coach. So what are some key insights you've gained about fostering healthy relationships?
Oh my God. Thank you for asking this question because it is such an important question. And to foster great relationship, we need to understand that how men and women think differently. They are wired differently in the brain. And that's what we call gender intelligence. That's why I do coaching based on Mars-Venus coaching, where we approach things from gender intelligence. When we understand how the brain of men and women works, then we understand how to communicate with each other better and how to speak positive words and how to phrase our communication when we speak to each other. So I'm giving a masterclass this Friday about how men and women cope with stress differently and how that affects their relationships.
Because right now, the rate of divorce is rising, and most of the time, men and women are not aligned, not understanding, okay, what is in the mind of the guys and what's in the mind of the females. And I know the males, they have just like one box that they take care of. Once they're done with that, here comes another box. Unlike the females, they have a lot of boxes and they are wired simultaneously. That's why women, they're very good at multitasking. And And we should be we should also understand the situation of the male wherein they are wired differently. It's one task at a time. Is that correct?
You explain it really well. That's so true. And that's one of the things I explain in the workshop, how the brain works differently. Because the man brain works differently, they are more on their left side, on their logic. And that's important for them because so they can get things, they can do things, they can have high level of focus. Whereas for us women, we multitask because in our brain, the two sides of our brain are connected. The tissues are connected. So we can think and do another thing. We can talk on the phone, hold the baby, cook at the same time. That's the beauty of it. And that's why we complement each other when we understand that, because it makes life so easier for a woman to know that when her husband is doing something, not to disturb him, because if she disturb him, he will be so upset because he cannot think 20 things at a time like us. So when he doing something, let him finish. And then you start talking about 20 things. And for men as well, when they try to narrow things down, women start to get upset because for women, she connect everything to everything. And if you try to tell her to narrow her and focus on this, she will get upset. So it's important to understand our differences. That's why we talk of understanding our differences, help us to have even better relationships with each other. It's wonderful, I tell you, when we understand those things. Another one, it's about for men, they need to feel needed in the relationship. And for women, they need to feel heard and they need to connect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if a woman is not heard by her husband, she would start to withdraw. She would start to feel resentment. She would start to feel angry. She would start to feel her husband doesn't love her. And that's why it's so important for the man to give the woman the space to talk. And that's what we talk in Mars Venus coaching. We talk of the Venus talk. It's about the woman telling the man, if you can give me 10 minutes to talk, and you do not have to do anything. So the man in that way feel relaxed, you know? He's not feeling that he's being ambushed, that you want to talk to him, because if you say, oh, I have something to talk to you, he will start to wonder, what is she going to talk now, you know? But when you say, you just have to listen to me for 10 minutes and you don't have to do anything, because the woman, she doesn't need to be fixed. Coming from work, she just wants to be heard and to be seen. And if the man give her that 10 minutes talk without interrupting, without giving advice, because she doesn't want to be fixed, that is a lot of support for her. She already feels supported. So, you know, it's these small things that we can do to understand each other. And when a man is, let's say, tired, coming from work, he will go to his cave. And for him, it's important to go and withdraw, because women don't understand. They think that when men come from work, he should be like us. He should be cooking, cleaning, and helping us. Why
Helping.
is he not
Yeah.
helping us? That's
And
the
that.
big question in everywhere women ask. I come from work, I'm so exhausted. And my husband, when he comes from work, he sit in front of the TV, or he's sleeping or playing video games. But for the man, that's so important. After a day of work, because men live on a 24-day cycle in their own hormones. So in the morning, his hormone is very high. He's ready to go to work and fight and do things and solve problems, complete projects. But when he comes home in the afternoon, his energy is drained. He doesn't have any more energy. His hormones is low. His testosterone is low. So now when he comes home, his wife say, now come and help me. He will get upset. He will say, no, just give me a few minutes. I need to rest. For him, resting, watching TV, doing nothing is a way to shut his brain so that he can build his testosterone back again. And once he builds that again, maybe in an hour, then he's happy. Then the woman can ask him to come and help.
That's the main reason we need to communicate. Because
We,
if not, both of you will be clashing. Oh, but I'm also working, especially now the females, they also work. When they get home, they have to take care of the kids, do the household chores after eating, cooking, and then cleaning up. Here you tell to your husband, you're just there relaxing. We don't know about that as well. Probably I should invite you in my Dream to Rise mastermind group. my
I
inner
would love.
circle in my love and relationship month. I would
Okay.
love to have you as well.
Would love to come and deliver that workshop. You will see it's life changing. It is an incredible workshop. I love it so much. Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yay!
this opportunity. I would love, because that's how we change in the Mars Venus coaching. We are here to change one relationship at a time, and it starts with us, how we
Yeah.
communicate, how we show up. So it's really, really powerful. That's why I love the Mars coaching approach, because we use a gender-based intelligence approach.
I'm going to schedule that.
Fantastic. I am really looking forward to talking to your audience. Yes.
Okay. So, what are your goals now for the next 12 months?
Thank you for asking, Cynthia. My goal is to have more of these webinars. So now I will have more once a month. I will deliver the webinar online, so people are free to email me anytime or go to my website and you can book a chat with me and I will send you the link. And I'm designing also a funnel for the webinar, so that people can sign up more readily and it will appear on my website. So that makes it easier. What I would like to do also, my plans for the next few months, next year, is to get more clients, to be on more podcasts, to be speaking more online, on podcasts, at summits, in-person conferences, write book. I am looking forward to co-authoring another book this July. So that's exciting. And also I am working on the pipeline to organize a trip to Egypt next April. So I will have a funnel that people can sign up, because I love going to Egypt for women, for retreat, for myself. And I found that so healing. I've been already twice, and every time I go, people say they want to come. Women wants to come. I say, okay, I'll organize it in April, but I will take only 6 people with me. That's all I will take. So that's the other thing. That's a big plan I've got. And I want to develop also a course, a mini course first, to help women to heal, to overcome their emotional blocks. These are so many of the things I have in the pipeline, and also continue to grow my podcast and have guests. And you are coming very soon, so I'm super excited about that.
I'm
Thank you
excited.
so much.
I'm excited as well.
And
So,
anybody can reach out to me on my website. So my
yes.
website is Dr. Rani, RaniThanacoody.com. And there they will get a free book, a free copy of my book, of my ebook chapter that I wrote, which is called I'm So Glad You Left Me. So they will have a copy. They also can book a free chat with me, a free discovery call, and I would be very happy to have a conversation with them.
Wonderful. So, what do you think would be the major roadblock in achieving all those goals?
What would be the major roadblock is really to stay focused.
Yeah.
Because I've got so many plans, so I have to really stay focused and do one thing at a time. No need to rush and do everything. So I think that's the main thing, and not to want to do everything at the same time.
And it's also our mindset
Yes.
that stops us also. I'm really excited. You have a great lineup of your plans, of your goals. Just connect with me also, because I've spoken at the 2026 Well Conference in Chicago last May 7. They look for speakers. I will connect you with them, and the next one is in Venice.
Okay. Wow.
I think this is in October, and I'll be joining them next year in Las Vegas. So,
Oh, maybe I should join you in Las Vegas.
yes, we'll go together.
Then I can meet you. Yes, then I can meet you, because I would love to come to West to go to some of the places, the spiritual places like Sedona, like Mount Shasta. So that would be a
Wonderful.
good opportunity. Yeah, yeah,
I'll
definitely.
be going to Dubai this November to
Oh,
speak
lovely.
also. I will keep in touch with you.
Yes.
That's one major goal you want to achieve. One of my guests, that's her goal, and she joined. I invited her to join in Chicago, and then she said, Oh, Cynthia, my first time to speak, and thank you so much. And she did very well. That was also our first time to meet face to face. And I would love to meet with you also,
I
Doc.
would love that. I would love that. That's
And
why
just
I say,
give you a
when you go,
hug.
let me know. When you go, let me know, then we can meet. Because, when you meet like-minded souls like you, it's such a beautiful connection. And when I went to Egypt, I had another guest, another podcast host
Oh,
that we've been friends for a few years. He's been on
oh,
my podcast, I've been on his, and we send each other guests. And I
uh-huh.
was telling him I was going to Egypt this April. He said, I am going too. I say, really? I say, that's great. And then I say, do you think you'll have time to meet us? We'll be in Cairo. He said, yes, because the day he arrived, we were already there. So we met him. I went to meet him. We had a lovely dinner all together with his wife,
Uh-huh.
and we had a beautiful conversation. And it was funny, even the waiter, he
Uh,
wanted to be in our photo. He said, can I take a photo with all of you? We said yes, because we were having so much fun.
uh-huh. See, that's why I value human connection because now I've learned, no, as I grow older, it's not the material things, it's not the title, the salary, the position. It's your connection with other people. How do you build a meaningful relationship with other people? And for me, that's more important. And that's how you leave your legacy behind so that the next generation may follow. Yes, I look forward to meeting you in
I am
Las
too.
Vegas. Okay, I will
Yes,
give you some information
thank you.
about that one.
And you've said that's so true. It's about human connection. I think Maya Angelou said, it's what people will remember is how you make them feel.
Yes,
you know and
yes.
that's what's important, to give a good impression and to make people feel good
Mhm.
when we talk to them, because
Yes,
that's what they will remember. They won't remember anything else, but they will always remember that person really encouraged me, had a good word for me, supported me.
I agree. So, what would be your message you hope to leave to our audience, to our listeners, about a simple advice that you'd like to share?
Thank you so much for asking, Cynthia. And that's a great question. What I would like to leave the audience is to remember to take care of yourself. What I mean, take care is not only dressing well, but also to take care of it's a body, mind, and soul job to take care of yourself. How you protect your energy, how you eat, what you put in your body, because our body is such a temple. It's such a beautiful temple, and it holds so much power when we know, when we feed it the right food, when we drink clean water, and when we think good thoughts, because when we think good thoughts, we start to feel good in our body, and that will motivate us to do great things, to take actions in life. So that's why I would say focus on yourself, your self-care, because when you and heal your wounds, very, very important. You might have big, small trauma, some you remember, don't remember, but heal those wounds, because you don't want them to become bigger and bigger later and to affect your life, because you are here to create the life that you want, because you are the treasure that you have been seeking. We seek it outside of us. We seek it in food, in shopping, in makeup, but the real treasure is in our heart, is our feelings. It's about also discovering our inner gifts, our intuition, because when we follow our intuition, our gut feeling, we always take the right action, we meet the right people, and it allows us to have a great life. So remember that you are the treasure that you are seeking.
I agree. And when you mentioned about the intuition, that is the inner voice we are listening, and that is usually connected to God. I agree that when you follow your intuition, your inner voice, the result is always great because it's coming from the Lord. And there were times I had this gut feel about something. I didn't follow my intuition and something bad happened. Now I would say, yes, listen to your intuition, your inner voice, because God is guiding you.
Mm.
Just need to uh, practice how to listen to our inner voice. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Rani. It's such a
Thank you. Thank you.
wonderful interview with you, and you were able to give so much valuable insights to our listeners, and you were able to share your powerful story how it's a reminder of resilience, the courage, and the transformative impact pursuing one's dreams. Again, I look forward to working with you again.
Yes, and
We're
thank you.
collaborating, supporting each other in my
Absolutely.
inner circle. Uh-huh.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Cynthia, and thank you to your audience. And remember, everyone, continue to dream big, and you
Yes.
are here to create your dreams.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Till next episode, have a blessed day to all.